Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and welcome back to another review. And of course, I am starting my review of the Scream films. And I reviewed the Scream films all in one video, but I was meaning to review them separately one day, and of course, because of Wes Craven's passing. And, I had said once before I was going to do a whole marathon of his reviews, but I'm like, well, I'm not really a big fan of his early work, like Last House on the Left and The Hills of Eyes remake. Well, remake. I like the remake more, is what I was saying. I'm not a fan of the original Hills of Eyes, but I do enjoy the remake. So I didn't think that fit well. Maybe on a later date. I mean, who knows? Maybe a few months from now. Who knows? Maybe a month from now. But I want to review some of the films I love. I love Shocker, which I reviewed. I put it on my Wes Craven movie review playlist. It's like a 50-minute review. I love the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Love Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I actually reviewed The Serpent and the Rainbow before, but I'm going to do another review for that. Last time I reviewed The People Under the Stairs, which I love. And all those reviews should be in the Wes Craven playlist that I'll try to remember to put in the video info. But the original Scream, I love. I still enjoy. I enjoyed it when I first saw this. It came out in 1996, but I know I saw it on home video, so it would have been 1997. And I thought it was a really clever, smart, entertaining film back then, and I still do think it's a smart, clever, entertaining film now. I know there's a lot of people who hate it, and that's fine if people hate it, but I disagree. I enjoy the first Scream, and I'll give you a heads up on the reviews. Scream 2 I thought was a step down. Of course, maybe that's because there's some characters that I did like that were killed off, and then... but of course, I mean, you can't expect every character you like to live. I know that. So it'll be interesting to give that Scream 2 another watch if I could learn how to talk. Scream 3 I've never hated. I know it gets a little bit Hollywood-like, but I'm guessing they went to Hollywood because Columbine happened, so I think they wanted to move away from that. I know at one point Matthew Lillard was actually going to come back as the killer in Scream 3, and he even mentions in an interview that that was going to happen, but then like 3 weeks before Columbine happened, they chucked that story out, so Matthew Lillard, which he gets a TV in the head, but movies, you can always throw some type of bullshit. And if you're wondering, the reason I got the Blu-ray of this, not only does it have the features, like each film has a commentary, but it has 2 documentaries called Still Screaming and Scream the Inside Story. And Still Screaming is a 93-minute documentary that talks about Scream 1 through 4. And then Inside Story is another 90-minute where it talks about the very first film, Scream. And then each one has features, like Scream 1 that I'm talking about has a commentary with Wes Craven and writer Kevin Williamson. Very nice to listen to. I thought it was a fun commentary track. Also some little behind-the-scenes interviews and trailers, TV spots. But yeah, really, I had fun with this movie. I don't know if they don't like the movie itself, Scream, or they don't like the ripple effect, the butterfly effect that came out with it, because you had I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legend, which I like Urban Legend. I don't mind the first I Know What You Did Last Summer. I didn't care for the sequels, but I didn't mind the first one. I actually reviewed the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, if anyone wants to check those out. I think I had a commentary on Valentine. I might have had to take it down because of copyright. But I hate Valentine to death. Urban Legends, I like. The sequel, I have to watch it again. I remember having some dumb fun with it, but I have to watch it again. Urban Legends Final Cut. And then there's a third one, which I remember not caring for, like Bloody Mary. And I know there's others, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. So because Unleashed a lot of those movies, The Faculty, which is not a horror film, it's more sci-fi, but Kevin Williamson, Robert Rodriguez had a hand in that, which I do like, and I will review that sometime, because for Tony, I mean, the Blu-ray he said didn't work, but I had a DVD, and I've been meaning to review that film anyway, so I like that film. But I know I'm going all over the place. Let's get back to the first film, Scream. I think Kevin Williamson did a great job. His favorite film is Halloween, and he wanted to do a takeoff on slasher movies, which were dead by '96. Or maybe, was it 95 when there's... I know it came out December of '96. And it debuted pretty low, but then it kept building and building and building and became this big hit, making over $100 million, and man, it became this big tidal wave. I did see the TV show, at least the pilot. I thought the pilot was horrendous. I didn't care for any of the cast. The look of Ghostface, he looks like his mouth is wide. He's ready to suck any juicy cocks along the way. And even the fucking guy who does the voice, if that's the same guy, Roger Jackson, I believe the guy's name, then him getting older is really apparent in his voice, or they got a different guy doing the voice. And the characters were not interesting, and Scream doesn't need to be a TV series. I mean, some would argue it didn't need a film series, but, you know, I don't like Scream 4, but I like Scream 3. I had fun with it, and I'll explain why when I get to that. But I thought Kevin Williamson, I know he went on, I think, was it Dawson's Creek he worked on? If so, I didn't watch that show. Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which was going to be Killing Mrs. Tingle, but it was named Teaching. I remember, actually, I don't remember that movie that well, so I can't say anything. I know what he did last summer I can watch, but I think Scream is a much smarter film. I know Wes Craven said no to the script, but he remembers a kid coming up, hey, Wes, when are you going to make a kick-ass movie again? And the original title for Scream was Scary Movie, but then there was going to be a movie called Scary Movie, and they did not. They labeled the title Scream. They wanted the title Scary Movie. They thought Scream was a stupid title, but Scream is a much better title for this than Scary Movie. I mean, Scary Movie would feel more at ease in a comedy. That's why it was used for the Keenan Ivory Wayans. That made sense for a comedy, Scary Movie. And of course, Scream did not do it first. I mean, you had films like Student Bodies, which I don't mind Student Bodies. Between the two, Scream is a much better film. But I have fun with Student Bodies. But I think Wes Craven did a great job directing it. I mean, that was a time Wes was struggling because I don't like Vampire in Brooklyn. I think it's one of Wes Craven's worst. Totally, Eddie Murphy was the wrong choice for that. And I know that's what Eddie Murphy insisted, but it was just the wrong call, Eddie. It was just the wrong call. And I'm trying to think what else Wes did in the 90s. Because I can't remember. I mean, I love People Under the Stairs. Other than Vampire Brooklyn, what else did he do? I know later on he did Music of the Heart, which I didn't see. Cursed, I hated. That was horrible. Red Eye, I have to watch it again. I forget what he did between this and Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which I enjoy. So he was having some good films in the 90s, except Vampire in Brooklyn, but the People on the Stairs I really enjoyed. Wes Craven's New Nightmare I really enjoyed, but Wes Craven's New Nightmare didn't really, which was before this, and it had that same smart script as this film did. And if I had to choose, I like Wes Craven's New Nightmare more, but Scream, I think, has a great cast. I mean, David Arquette, Neve Campbell, Courteney Cox, Matthew Lillard, Rose McGowan, Skeet Ulrich, Drew Barrymore, Jamie Kennedy. You have a role from Henry Winkler. Liev Schreiber has a teeny tiny role. Linda Blair has a cameo. I thought everyone in the cast did a great job. You know, even I've gone, oh, it's a cast from the CW or WB, but this is a good cast from that. This is a great cast. I thought they were talented. Matthew Lillard and Jamie Kennedy were especially funny in certain sequences. Very memorable bits of dialogue. They watch prom night, they save time. It's a formula, a very simple formula. Everyone's a suspect. And Jamie Kennedy working with Matthew Lillard, I thought worked great. Matthew Lillard at the end had me laughing. Like when Skeet Ulrich throws him the phone. Oh, you hit me with the phone, you dick! Sidney, did you really call the cops? Yes, I did. Oh, my mom and dad will be so mad at me. But it could be over the top, but I thought it was funny. It made me laugh. It still makes me laugh. You told me she was dead. though she was dead, she still looks dead. Talking to about Courteney Cox. But I thought each of these characters each of these actors played their characters well. I mean, David Arquette is the sort of, you call him dim-witted Sheriff Dewey, who is a brother of Rose McGowan, and oblivious would be the word for it, that he is, there's a few, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but just like David Arquette, he has a good heart to him. It seems like he just has a good heart. It seems like a good guy. I know this is where him and Courteney Cox fell in love, and they're not together anymore, but they fell in love, worked together for a while. That's one of the reasons why I like Scream 3, because it felt like he had more to do, especially in the ending. You got to shoot the guy. You shoot the killer. It's like, finally, gave him something to do. I mean, I know he's dim-witted, but he's still a fucking cop. Come on, give him something to do. Fucking shit. Neve Campbell, I think she did a fantastic job. She was strong. She was likable. She was not, a broken nail. She was rough and tumble in the fights. She was a woman that easy to, not only is she beautiful to look at, but she's not dim-witted. She is a strong individual, easy to root for, easy to like, and hard to kill. And in a way, she is hard to kill. And that's one thing I would give Scream 4, is I was pretty sure that they were just going to wipe them all out, but they didn't do that. They did not do that. So I give credit to Scream 4 for that. That was, and a good line of dialogue, never fought with the original. I give Scream 4 that, at least. Not much else, but I give it at least that. I mean, Drew Barrymore, the opening, I mean, what more can you say about the opening? Getting the phone call, references to Halloween, and let me guess, your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one was good, but the rest sucked, which I disagree, because I'm a huge Elm Street fan. I reviewed all the Elm Street films. The only ones I really don't like is Part 5 and the remake. All the other Elm Street films I enjoy. I talked about in my reviews. And, why do you want to know? Because I want to know who I'm looking at. The boyfriend that's tied up, and later on gets his guts. This definitely is a gory R-rated film as well. I mean, you got guts coming out of a guy who's tied up. Drew Barrymore gets stabbed to shit after losing a question. Who's the killer of Friday the 13th? Jason! Jason! That's the wrong answer. You should remember, Mrs. Voorhees was the killer in the first film. Which was an answer. I know Kevin Williamson said that he was in a bar, and if you stump people, you get a free drink, and that was the question he used. Who's the killer on Friday the 13th? I guess people thought it was Jason. It's like, no, it was Mrs. Voorhees. I was never shocked that she died. Just people like, oh, but she was a big star. Was Drew Barrymore really a big star in 1996? I mean, when I think about it, yeah, she starred in a couple films, like she was in E.T., I like Cat's Eye, but Cat's Eye wasn't really that big of a hit. She was in Firestar, but I don't even think, I'm not a big fan of Firestar except the effects. I know John Carpenter was fired. He was going to do Firestar. I want to see his Firestar. Not Mark L. Lesser, I thought did the action bits fine, but I don't know, just that film didn't click with me. I do like the fire and action effects, and the performances were not that bad, but I don't know, just the film itself just didn't click. But Drew Barrymore was doing stuff like, she had a teeny tiny role in Batman Forever. She was like in a minute or two as one of the women of Two-Face. She was in films like, what was it, Mad Love or something like that with Chris O'Donnell, and I don't remember what the hell else she was in. She was a vampire victim in Waxwork 2, which, yes, I know there's a remake of Waxwork. What can I say? We can't get a special edition or Blu-ray of Waxwork, but we could get a remake. That's fucking surprise. Someone told me that on Facebook and such, and it was nothing against him, but I deleted it from my Facebook. Nothing against him, but I'm like, I'm just so pissed off. Like, I don't want to see that. Nothing. I did nothing against him. Just I was mad at the news because I'm like, we can't get a Blu-ray, but it features and commentary, which I know they would be willing to do, but no, we did a remake. Because that's how it fucking figures. I know I'm going on all tangents, but I mean, it's hard to talk about a film that's been talked about so many times in so many different ways. What more can I offer to stream that has already been said? I mean, you know, her getting killed viciously, Hun, guts coming out, and I never was surprised that she got killed. I'm like, okay, yeah. It was never like, oh my god, what? I guess it was for a lot of people, but I'm like, she wasn't really that big of a star. In fact, she kind of became a bigger star after this, because she was in films like Never Been Kissed, and The Wedding Singer, and Charlie's Angels. She did that all after Scream. I mean, it's like, oh, it's the kid from E.T. It's not even the star of E.T. I mean, I never thought she was that big of a star back then, but maybe they just remember E.T. and that was it. And Poison Ivy. I guess maybe those two. Which I'll be honest, I haven't seen Poison Ivy. So, but I'm not surprised that she got killed, but it's pretty vicious. I know Wes had a fight with the MPA on stream. A lot of fights with it. If you're interested in these films, definitely pick up the Blu-ray because these two documentaries are fantastic. I mean, they're both 90 minutes long. They're great documentaries. It's definitely worth it for this. Definitely worth it. And then like each film has a commentary track with Wes on it, Wes Craven, and so forth, which is very nice. And you have so many references. I mean, I know they don't admit, they say it's not, but the whole Neve Campbell, Skeet Ulrich coming through the window, that's clearly Nightmare on Elm Street. Because Johnny Depp, Skeet Ulrich looks like Johnny Depp from the original Nightmare on Elm Street. He really does. It has that Johnny Depp vibe, and him coming through the window to see his girlfriend really makes me think of Nightmare on Elm Street. And again, a lot of the references to the dialogue, maybe people get annoyed by that, but it didn't bother me. I think it's interesting. Like I was watching The Exorcist, and it was edited for TV, and are we edited for TV? And then she's like, would you settle for PG-13? And we don't see nudity, which was on purpose to be different from a lot of other slasher movies. And I love slasher movies. Again, when they're good. I like the original My Bloody Valentine, and I enjoy Terror Train, and pretty much all the Friday the 13th films I enjoy. And you know, there's quite a few Halloween films. I don't like 5 or 6. Definitely don't like the remakes. I'm sure they'll do a third one, and I won't think of anything until a trailer comes out. But anyway, yeah, I thought the cast worked well. I thought a lot of likable characters. I thought the dialogue was fun. They go to school, and Linda Blair, who is in a TV movie that Wes Craven did, which I haven't seen. Maybe one day I will, when they decide to do Wes Craven Marathon. I mean, I don't know. Maybe after I review the rest of Tony's stuff, and review a couple of these Wes Craven's films, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. We'll see. But, oh, okay, cool. That's Linda Blair. And going to school, like Henry Winkler is the principal, and being a really, I mean, I did this point, but scaring the shit out of these kids with scissors, just cutting up this ghost mask, and just getting these scissors right in kids' faces. Yeah, that principal would have been suspended in like 5 seconds, especially the way it is today. But, you know, Ghostface, which I will say that's a cool look for a killer, the Ghostface look. I mean, I prefer, you know, Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers, but the Ghostface for the newer generation of killers, which there were some fun slasher films even then. Like, I love Dr. Giggles. Yeah, that's a fun movie, and I'm sure there's others when I think about it, but Scream really jump-started that stuff. And I know people say, oh, horror film is dying. I guess box office-wise, but there was a lot of 90s horror films I loved. I mean, I love In the Mouth of Madness. And, you know, after this, you know, John Carpenter's Vampires, and you know, I love, you know, The People Under the Stairs and Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and try to think of, you know, Jacob's Ladder in 1990, and yeah, The First Power, and Tremors, and, you know, Child's Play 2, and I even like Child's Play 3. And, you know, there's a lot of the movies in that area that I enjoy. Stephen Two's Graveyard Shift was 1990. You know, I like Silence of the Lambs. I know people say, well, is that a horror film? And whatever. But anyway, if you give me a list of horror films in the 90s, there's tons I could pick out. Even after this, The Relic and Deep Blue Sea and Deep Rising, and you know, I don't mind Urban Legend. I don't know, I'm going over the place. Yeah, just it's hard to talk about a movie that everyone has talked about. But I thought the kills were interesting. I mean, Rose McGowan's death when she gets stuck in the doggy door and she comes up and her head gets fucked up and crushed. And that's pretty vicious. Henry Winkler's death scene, just getting stabbed to shit. And I like the look of the eyeball and the reflection. Oh, you do have a cameo by Wes Craven, who dressed up as Freddy Deer. I never liked that cameo. I just felt it was really out of place. Like, really too on the nose of, oh, there's Wes Craven looking like Freddy Krueger, and I thought it was really too on the nose. It was really like something out of a Mad TV, Saturday Night Live, or something out of like a parody movie, something you would see in Scary Movie in that Scream. That a cameo like that was a bit too on the nose, and I don't know, I didn't really care for that. But I mean, again, that's a nitpick. But I'm trying to think. I mean, the Courteney Cox as the bitchy reporter, but she's got a bit of strength to her as well. Her cameraman who gets his throat slit. It worked as a good murder mystery as well. There were a lot of red herrings, and I remember the very first time I saw this, I did not know who the killer was. I thought they did a really good job at making me think that it wasn't Skeet Ulrich, because it's like, oh, he is. And then, wait a minute, they keep saying this, he is, so that means he's not. But then, oh my god, he got killed. Oh, it surprised me. Wait, he's not dead? I mean, I can't think of too many slasher films, at least the big popular ones, that had two killers. I mean, I think, if I want to say Just Before Dawn had two killers. I'm trying to remember, though. If it did, I remember one guy got killed with the mouth, with a fist going to a mouth, but oh, I think George Kennedy killed the other one, shot the other one. So I think that did have two killers. I just gave away Just Before Dawn. Sorry about that. Thinking off the top of my head. But I mean, come on. I mean, it's been how long? I think just. But there's a lot. I'm sure if I think about more, there'd be films that had more than one killer, but it wasn't that many. And by 1996, I had not seen that many slasher films. I mean, I had seen some slasher films, but not as many as I have, God, almost 20 years later, because next year will be the 20th anniversary of Scream. Which actually, that's really sad, because Wes didn't live long enough to see that. I mean, that would have been very cool. Him, part of the celebration for 20th anniversary of Scream. And that sucks. But I don't remember many movies that have two killers. So the whole idea of two killers I thought was very clever, different, interesting, and surprising. I thought it was a good murder mystery. So I thought it worked very well as a murder mystery, but it's a fun slasher movie as well. We have your gore and some nice makeup effects, some nice kills. And I thought the finale at the house and the whole party, chase scenes and people dying off, and the two killers stabbing each other, so it looks like they were wrecked, and yeah, the killer got away. And again, some nice bits of dialogue. You guys are sick fucks. You've been watching too many movies. Don't blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos. God, I forgot the exact word for word. Sorry, sometimes I can't remember word for word the dialogue. I know I have it here somewhere. Damn it. Sorry, folks. More creative, movies make psychos more creative. Sorry about that. But again, the whole stuff with Matthew Lillard, and again, Sidney being a smart person, getting the phone, using it on them, um, stabbing in the middle with the umbrella, smashing the TV on Matthew Lillard. Uh, Jamie Kennedy being alive, I liked him as the movie nerd, and all before all the massacre happens, him explaining the rules is a famous scene. You know, you can never have sex, never say I'll be right back. And the whole thing with Neve Campbell, very interesting script. The whole backstory with her mother having been murdered, and this other guy was put away, Liev Schreiber, who would be in the sequels and bigger roles. She was a person whose mother was murdered, and she had some little bit of baggage from that, not too much, but a little bit. And then there's something else I was going to say. Oh, her being a virgin and then actually having sex and them even using that against her. Oh, see, you're not a virgin anymore. We can kill you now. So I thought it played off the cliches and such very well. I thought Marco Beltrami did a fantastic job on the score. I think the score for this film is excellent. I know I've heard pieces of this music in other like movie trailers. I can't hum it because I'm not the best at that, but I thought the score fit very well. I even don't mind some of the soundtrack. Like even the song at the end, whisper to a stream, whisper to a stream. Shit. I actually like that song. That was a pretty good song. Red Right Hand. That's another song. And I thought it was a clever movie. I thought it was a fun movie. I thought at times it was a funny movie. It's nice to see Jamie Kennedy's character working in a video store and think about the killer. Again, I thought a lot of the references were to Rose McGowan saying, you know, ease up, you sound like some Wes Carpenter freak. Of course, Wes Craven, John Carpenter. I'm sure there's more that people will point out. But I thought it went at a good pace, had a finale that people, and an opening that people remember. I thought it had a good cast of likable characters, and I thought it was very interesting script, great score, and it is a decently violent film at times, and good throat slit. You know, stabbings are pretty vicious. You know, entrails, guts falling out of boyfriends, or you know, Drew Barrymore tied to a T. To a T. She looks like a T, pretty much just hanging there. I mean, from a fucking tree, guts falling out. I mean, that's when you say that, it's like, yeah, it is pretty vicious. And I don't really have anything bad to say. Again, I thought the rest of the film had a good murder mystery to it. And I know the school that they were shooting, they don't shoot at another school, but then they looked at the script, they said, you know, pretty much fuck off, you're not shooting at our school. And I think even in the credits, they go, no thanks to blah, 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 high school. So they shot at another school. And I'm trying to think of other stuff that I don't want to miss. I thought, is there anything I didn't like about the film? Again, other than that little nitpick of the Wes Craven cameo. Just I thought the outfit he was wearing is really out of place. Of course, you would have like Jay and Silent Bob and Scream 3, but so people would, hey, if you complain about that, they did that in the first movie with the Wes Craven thing, but yeah, other than that nitpick, I can't think of anything else. Can't think of anything else. You know, Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard at the end were great as the psychos. Neve Campbell, again, she was a strong individual. Nice dialogue between her and the killer while she's on the phone. And yeah, I thought it kept a good job with the mystery going with the red herrings. Like there's a moment where Neve Campbell's on the phone and Rose McGowan is trying to get her brother Dewey. As she hangs up, then finally Dewey comes in. It's like, well, wait a minute. He came in just when that happened. That's strange. Or wait, Neve Campbell is being called while Skeet Ulrich is in jail, so how could he do it? And then it's like, oh, wow, there's two killers. Like, yeah, I thought it was a good script, Kevin Williamson. And that's kind of strange that drove a script, and then in the sequels, they kept fucking with him. Scream 2, I don't know if they fucked with him that much. I think that he wrote something that got leaked, and that pissed them off. But I know, like, Scream 3, and I think even Scream 4, they said that it was messed with. I don't know, you don't really get any new interviews with Kevin Williamson, strangely enough. I know he wrote some nice words about Wes Craven since he's passed on, but again, even on the documentaries, you don't really have any brand new interviews with Kevin Williamson, which I thought was strange, because I like to hear his thoughts about, what happened with the sequels and, his involvement or non-involvement, but I don't know, maybe he's just, I don't know really. I mean, that's the point. But yeah, I'll end it here. It's been 31 minutes, and again, it's hard to talk about a movie that everyone has talked about, Scream. But I don't hate the film at all. I enjoyed it very much watching it the first time. I enjoyed it watching it again this time. I think it's, I don't repeat myself, but just to finish it off, I think it's a great cast of likable actors. It's a very clever dialogue and script. I was fine with the references. Pretty decently vicious, violent movie. But I thought it was very well directed by Wes Craven. I thought wonderfully scored by Marco Beltrami. And I forget if he did the other. I think he did all of the... I know he did the second one. He did the third one. I would guess he did the fourth one. Don't hold me to that, but I would guess. But again, don't hold me to that. I could be absolutely wrong. But I thought he did a great job with the score. And overall, yeah, I don't really have any problems with it. I think it's a classic movie. It's a movie that made its mark, and watching it again, I can see why. At the time, it was a refreshing movie, and even now, I watch, I'm like, this is a good script with a good cast and a good director. Now, has he made some films I don't like? Yeah, but at the end of the day, he is a good. I know I should say was, but he is a good director, because those movies like this, People on the Stairs, Shocker, Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven's Nightmare, these films are going to live on. And, I miss the guy, Wes Craven, but he made some damn good films, and Scream 1 is one of them. Thanks for watching, take care, and next time I will talk about Scream 2. See you later.